All right, we got to do the sound check. James, do the sound check the way you do it on your podcast.
Check
no
one.
Pressure.
Syphilis.
All right, today on the I can't even say my own name. Today on the Tom Kelly Show, we got Sam Ramsdell, TikTok star. She's viral and a comedian. Her husband James is behind the camera. It's a last-minute show slapped together. Let's start it now.
Let's.
Oh, yeah, and just for fun, I will force you to listen to the theme song.
Oh, perfect.
All right, there we go. Ready? And
yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Tom Kelly Show.
Can hold that close.
Anybody, I want you to go to the Tom Kelly Show.
She's rocking to it. And here we go. Content warning. Spoiler alert. Good God, we got to get this going because we got to get the dogs. You are experiencing the Tom Kelly Show. There is no outline to the show. With me is internet and TikTok sensation Sam Ramsdell. I'm recording a last-minute positive show because Don Glasgow sent me a note saying he was listening to a podcast about abortion, got sick of it, and then listened to my show for some positivity. I had recorded a show about Biden and the debates and how George Clooney doesn't want Biden to be the president anymore, blah, blah, blah. And then after hearing that I'm more entertaining than abortion, I felt I have a responsibility. So this is the show where Tom Kelly, one stand-up comedian, gets back to having fun. And, and listen, this podcast started as a pandemic disaster story, and the difference between my pandemic podcast and your pandemic TikTok is you're successful.
Listen, you are successful, okay? I don't want to hear it. We're positive. I thought we were doing positive.
I know. Okay, well, that's a stupid one. So, like that's an easy one. But you started stand-up, what, 2 years ago?
Well, I had started before the pandemic, too.
When did you start stand-up?
So, like, 2019. Literally like a year before the pandemic.
Okay, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, Grandpa. I didn't realize you were so grizzled. You're such a veteran. You're so experienced. I apologize. So, you had 1 year before the pandemic. The world shut down.
Yep.
And then to make it easy for people who are listening to the show in the audio version and who don't know you from TikTok, you jam things in your mouth and you do fun, and you're funny.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's in a nutshell.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Like if I were like Jimmy Fallon introducing your stand-up, she jams shit in her mouth and she's funny. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Ramsdell.
Here she is.
But that's sort of how it started for you.
It is. Well, of course, like everyone was like, all right, what am I going to do over the pandemic? You know, it was like this TikTok's blowing up. So it's like, all right, I'm going to get on here. I literally just was like, like made like stupid faces.
Okay. And
it got like
noises.
800,000.
No.
And it got like 800,000 views. And I was like, ooh, what?
Okay, silly one just for fun. Is that what you were doing with your stand-up before the pandemic?
No.
What was your stand-up before the pandemic for that 1 year you were doing it?
It was talking about a lot, like, just being weird as a kid. Of course, like, it was trash. It wasn't the best in the world. But it was like, like I was talking about, like, just I was a weird kid. I do some stuff that's gotten better now. But, like, locking friends in the basement and, like, doing weird shit and trying to make friends.
I guess we have to acknowledge this, too. Can I acknowise where you grew up? Because your dad doesn't know that. Sam grew up on Higgins Beach, and if you are a Tom Kelly Show listener, listen. When I'm there, I stay at 26 Bayview Avenue. I'm not there right now. Feel free to stalk whoever's there. And Sam grew up on Morning Street. Do you remember the house number?
27.
Wait, what age did you know? What age did you leave that you just guessed?
So, well, what it was too is it was my dad's, like, basically his, like, born and raised father's house. Like, it was his house that we grew up on. And
was it a vacation house or was it?
It was kind of like, well, my parents got divorced at an early age, so my dad went there when I was like, 10, 11. So I was there with my dad and like
mom
10
lived somewhere else in Scarborough.
And my mom lived on Pleasant Hill Road.
Okay.
Which is not too far.
The main road, though.
Which is the main road, which is like 3/4 of a mile.
Your dad lived in the awesome beach house while mom lived on a highway.
Yeah, pretty much.
Who got what in the divorce?
Well, so the house on Pleasant Hill Road, my mom's father built. So it was like a house in the family.
One of those.
Yeah.
Pleasant Hill goes up to US 1.
Yes.
I know where you're. Okay, yeah, no,
yep. But she lived like close, like the top. Like we lived like, my mom lived like on the hill of Pleasant Hill. Like the top of the hill. Like almost like Route 77.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like
77.
we could
yeah.
see Route 77 like from her house, basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so you weren't down on Black Point.
So we weren't down. No,
Okay.
not like in Sopo.
Because the other down further south from where she lived is like where Roger Goodell from the NFL commissioner lives.
Yeah. Like
there's
these are
rumors
millionaire
that
houses.
Stephen King wrote a book down there, but I think that's a lie. And
Yep.
I went in there, lots of gates, and I feel like Long Island white trash when I bike around there.
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
So you're jamming crap in your mouth.
Jamming crap.
I mean, do you get sick of it?
Well, so, you know, I don't really do as much of it now. Like, it was in the beginning because it was just so wild that, like, I could put 2 donuts in my mouth and I would get 25 million views. And I was like, this is so, it's too easy. Like, it's almost too easy. You know what I mean? And I could just, like, make weird faces and it would get millions of views.
So it's funny because, I do these Long Island videos, and it's never been too easy for me either, though.
Well, and that, so I was like, I kind of had to ride the wave. And then at some point, it's like, all right, this is getting old. That was 2020. It's 2024 now. It's like, I can't just put shit in my mouth forever.
Okay, this is a dumb one. Was there something you put in your mouth where while you're putting it in your mouth for easy
like,
views,
this is it.
Where you went, I'm sick of this. This is the last thing I'm putting in my damn mouth.
Well, it was a lot of, like to the point where I was eating unhealthy too, because a lot of it was like getting these huge sandwiches and all this fried stuff and sweets. And I'm like, I can't, keep living like this.
Now, this is a rude thing to say, but you've already asked me what my rent is and why I'm single.
Your social security number.
Yeah, you've already asked a few, but you look skinnier and hotter than some of the videos I've looked at.
God!
Are you on
Guys,
a path of fitness?
Clip it.
Is that really going to be the clip? Me kissing your ass? Really? In front of your husband? Really? Me flirting in front of your husband? James isn't even picking up the microphone. Be a man.
He doesn't care.
Threaten to kick my ass.
He doesn't care. He's like, whatever. Good luck. Have fun with her.
It actually is sibilance. I say syphilis during the mic check.
You looked it up?
No, I know it's sibilance. I just say syphilis all the time because that's what we thought it was from SNL.
Oh my God! Listen, you guys aren't looking at him on camera, but just understand he's smart, he's funny, and he's hot,
and he's dead inside.
But the sense of humor, nothing.
He's dead inside.
He's leaving me. He left me hanging for 7 minutes of a podcast. I only got 20 with you.
Yeah.
So I got literally 12 minutes, 10 seconds left with you here.
Yeah. Every minute counts.
Okay. What was the thing that you put in your mouth that made you say, F this, I'm not putting crap in my mouth anymore?
Well, it was more that, like, it was, there's only so much. I'm like, what else can I put in my mouth?
It's funny, though, but people were... So, I am known for beating jokes to death.
Of course.
I find it charming.
Right until the end.
If I had 25 million people still looking at me putting my my pill counter in my mouth,
right?
I'm looking at weird things I would have cleaned up if I knew you were coming.
No, it's okay. Pills are cool. Give me one.
It's blood pressure and hair pills. It's really suddenly the hair is growing back in your eyebrows. Yeah, like it wasn't just one specific thing though.
No,
there wasn't a moment.
Like I was doing because I was trying to reinvent it because again there is so many. I'm like, what else can I friggin' put in my mouth? That I'm like, other than people were like, put a washing machine in your mouth. It was like this is a dead road. So I was doing a lot of sandwiches where I would because that did really well. I could fit an entire Subway sandwich.
Did you make money on that? The sandwiches?
Well, from the TikTok Creator Fund, yeah.
Okay, that's it though. Because I would almost be going to sandwich shop to sandwich shop. By the way, the Long Island came out on that.
Well, I did end up getting a lot of partnerships from that. I did a lot with Jimmy John's.
Okay, my favorite fast food name to say, Jimmy John.
Jimmy John. What else? I did some stuff with Subway. I did some stuff with Wendy's. So, when you're doing sandwiches, hamburgers,
okay, so you were making
marketable.
Your money.
But I was making, but then it's just, you get kind of sick. I do get bored too. I'm bored. I need to think of new things. I gotta do something else with the mouth.
Okay, so.
But I still put some things in my mouth. So I just not as on every video.
So this may be too deep a question for a podcast where I swear I'm trying to get back to happy things. But you said you grew up as a weird kid, broken family, Scarborough, New York, Scarborough, Maine, where I can't quite figure out what the regular person is like there. Half the people there are rich, the other half seem kind of regular.
It's very average because most of those people that have the $1 million homes don't live there full time.
Right.
You know, like those are people that it's a vacation home. And we would do that a lot. Have you been down to Proud Snack, obviously? That's where like Roger Goodell and all those really, really rich people live.
Yeah, down by the Black Point Hotel.
Black Point.
And what do you call it?
It's called Proud Snack.
Okay, gotcha.
Is the name of that area.
Okay.
Proud Snack. Because it's a little peninsula that goes out. That's where the rich people are.
Okay,
no pores. No pores.
I really just started exploring it on my last trip.
Okay. It's gorgeous. That was my first job, was working there at the tennis courts, by the way.
Okay, for the golf club?
Yeah, it was hell.
What is that, Black Point Golf Club?
It's Proud Snack Country Club.
Is it still that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. So you're at the country club, you're working for the rich.
So I was working for the rich, but again, like those people are only there in the summer, and then they're out of there. If you go drive down there in like January, February, it's a ghost town.
Yeah, see, I go down in May, June / September, October, where it's a ghost town-ish.
Yeah, towards October, it's starting to get a ghost town, but it's like these houses are just vacant. So most people who live there full-time are the poors, like me, my family.
So deep question, then we'll go back to stupid shit.
Yeah.
You felt like a weirdo as a kid.
Always, yeah.
Suddenly, now you're on TikTok.
Yep.
You got your hot boyfriend. Okay.
Who
has a job. No, right.
He does have a job.
He's a good-looking man with a job.
Of course.
You're living together, love each other, blah, blah, blah. Yep. And then you start entertaining people by being even weirder than you were before the pandemic. Does that fill your holes?
Yeah, no, my holes are so full.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay, really? And then James?
I have nothing to do with that. She's filling her own holes.
Self-fulfilling.
This is why I wanted to put the camera on you. For that.
Self-fulfilling holes. Well, it was more, again, it was just kind of playing around with it and like listening to what did well. Like we were talking about this earlier about like, you know, like throwing a million things at the wall. I was doing singing videos. I started as a singer. So I was doing a lot of like cover songs. I have a bunch of cats. We have 4 cats and 2 dogs. So I was doing a lot of animal videos and, you know, life as a cat, you know, and it was until like the mouth stuff, and it really did set me apart.
What made you do the first one?
I was just
Was it the voice
around.
of God?
There was some sort of trend. I can't even remember what it was, where it was like, you know, like some big mouth, like people were using like the big mouth filter. And I was like, I don't need a filter. And it blew up. And then just replying to the comments, people like, if your mouth's so big, how do you eat? And then so came the eating.
By the way, I love your sound effects. Like you see this board, you see those empty
I love
slots
it.
there? I want to start putting Sam noises. Like I just have a button to. All right. So I got 8 minutes to fill here. 7. We're down to 7 minutes to fill. All right. Who are your fans? Tell me what your fans are like.
So a lot of them, so funny enough, like 90% of my audience is female.
By the way, if you were funny right now, you would just say something awful about them, and this would be the podcast that ruined you.
Yeah. Don't get me canceled.
No, it would be like, you'll remember the Saturday Night Live one with William Shatner, where he's at the convention and he goes, I wanted to tell you this for years. Get a life.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Like, this is your get a life.
But I think a lot of a woman, because a lot too now it's become, you know, of course, making fun of relationships and getting older and, you know, being 35.
I know, I'm 48.
Yes.
Your boyfriend's 45.
I'm almost 35.
Okay. Oh, poor baby. And I did stand-up for a year before the pandemic, and I don't know why I'm not famous yet.
Someone help. But yeah, like it was just, I don't know. It was like, you know, it really is crazy, like how it came. Like if you had told me 10 years ago that this is how, like
and you're paying your bills.
Yeah.
How much are we making a year?
I would say all together, because again, like I do a lot of promotions on social media, TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. Okay. Then we have the podcast. Then we do live shows, merch, any like appearances, like randomly, like I'll get, you know, go to an appearance at like the zoo or something. They're like, look at this big mouth freak.
At the zoo? Have you done a zoo?
I've done a zoo.
What zoo have you done?
San Antonio Zoo. They literally paid me $2,000 to go down there.
Okay.
And like they had like a Guinness World Record exhibit.
Right now,
like,
my biggest offer for an integration is from the Happy Land Cannabis Shop on Route 109 in Farmingdale, New York.
That also sounds amazing. That is also something I should do.
I've been lazy about calling them back because I'm just not sure what I want to do. But I'll be honest, I think I'd rather get paid to hang out with the chimpanzees.
It was fun, but San Antonio was hot as balls, and it was like in July.
Yeah, but but listen, folks, I'll do kinkier stuff with those monkeys.
Whatever you want.
You tell me what needs to be done. By the way,
you're writing a check.
James didn't quite laugh. There was just a sad look of disdain on, I will do what I have to do with those monkeys to make $2,000.
Gotta make some money around here.
Not the monkeys.
Not the monkeys.
Not the monkeys. Okay. So your fan base is female. By the way, we're performing together August 2nd.
Yes.
At Main Prospect in Southampton.
Yes.
I'll put that info on my website.
So rich.
Not to be associated with Maine, the state.
Right.
No, MAIN. And that's actually Main Prospect, Southampton, New York, which makes Higgins Beach look like trash.
Does it?
By the way, you know what's funny? When I do that, this is part of why I'm glad you two came to do the podcast with me. When I start yelling alone to my iPhone, it just feels lonelier, and you don't see the glow in my eyes. Like if I went, Higgins Beach is trash! If I did that alone, it'd just be like, they're going to call the neighbors. But at least if you're here, you vouch for it being a podcast. All right,
sure.
4 minutes left. Fan base. Is your fan base hot? Are they hot chicks, outsiders?
I would say so hot, but
like
they're
when
also
I open
weird.
for you, do I have a chance of hooking up?
Oh, for sure. I think you have a good chance because you're weird. No offense.
Well,
I mean,
thank
like
you
it's
for
good.
that. And hot.
Bro,
and hot.
So hot. So much hair.
Just not in the right places.
The hair is flowing.
You're not watching. Are you watching The Boys? You're watching The Boys.
What's The Boys?
It's a superhero parody on the Amazon.
I have not. I know what you're talking about.
What?
I know what you speak of.
You're dead to me.
Have not seen it.
To me.
We gotta watch it.
There's because now if James isn't in on this, my next line is just going to sound creepy. That's why I'm glad husbands come on the podcast, because if it was just me and you, it would feel creepy. But if I say it to James, it's not.
Yeah.
There's a guy. Basically, it's a character who is like Superman, but he's a rapist, and then he has gray pubes in season 4. Spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
Thank God now I don't have to watch it.
You don't have to watch it.
Yeah, you basically just saw it.
Okay. Now, do you have basic girls who fall at your show?
No, I would say most of them are weird because I'm not posting normal stuff. Like, if you're going to follow me and, like, see all the weird shit I do, you have to be a little off.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you're not normal. Like, you're not, like, buying, like, pumpkin lattes.
So you love it?
Of course.
No, but you like your fan base.
Oh, my God. They're the best. And, like... I feel like it is nowadays. I feel like it's more acceptable to like be weird and be different rather than being all these basic hoes.
Okay, so it's funny. I was going to try a joke on the two of you, but I'm going to be deep instead.
Try it.
Well, okay, because I fall for basic women.
Yeah, why though?
I think in some part, and it wasn't fulfilling. I have managed to with my recent Long Island success. Yeah. I have now made most of my high school bullies realize they were dicks for being bullies.
Yeah.
Except for one guy in Long Beach who keeps sending a message. I did a video about a town, Long Beach, New York, and there's a guy who sends me a message every now and then, and he goes, none of my friends ever heard of you. And I'm like, well, that's actually a good thing.
Yeah, it's probably great.
And you might be happier that way too. Who is this guy? I never heard of him. So outside of that guy, I find whatever success I've achieved so far has not filled my holes. And part of me thinks it's because I'm still aspiring to bang the pretty girls from school. And that'll lead me to the joke I'm trying to get to. Right? Now, you already got the hot boyfriend, though.
Right. I got it all.
The awkward
dream.
Thank God I'm not on camera.
Yeah. All right. So I tend to fall for aspirationally basic girls.
But do you like that? Like, you want someone who's like, oh, yeah, like, whatever. Like,
oh, God, that's so hot. Stop.
Oh, my God. What? You're a freak.
No, I don't know. No, I don't know if that's what I want, but it's what I want. Does that make sense? Like,
sure.
No, it's not
the
what
trauma.
I want.
Maybe it's the trauma. Like, do you have trauma? Like, maybe like some like basic girl. Like,
oh yeah, I had one push a cupcake into my face in the 6th grade. Holy cow!
We need to unpack that.
You know what's funny? I have not thought about that outside of therapy in years. And I can't remember her name.
We need to unpack
but
that.
I was at Brian Geldert's 7th grade party. It was the first cool kid party I was invited to. And then they were playing like Let's Bang in the Closet or whatever. And I walk in like, hey guys, how are you? And I was wearing a shirt that was I was wearing Jams. You remember Jams?
I still have them.
There you go. Like it was like, do you remember MC Hammer pants?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, imagine those as shorts. That's a jam. And I go in my Jams, and whoever the girl is, she's like, go into the other room. I'm not going into the other room. Go into the other room, or I'm going to put a cupcake in your face. And I'm like, well, I'm not going into the other room. I'm not letting you push me around. So she put the cupcake in my face, and I cried.
Aww.
And then I switched schools.
Really?
Maybe a year later, but it's a lot better if I say it like that. All right, here's the deal. I promised Sam and James a 20-minute show, and we're at 20 minutes, 12 seconds.
I
and
know,
I'm keeping
sorry,
my
we have dogs.
No. But I'm keeping my word, and we'll just do this again. Either we'll do it again.
Yeah, teaser's a teaser. Be like, ooh, you want more?
Yeah,
You want
honestly,
more?
it wasn't quite the Barbara Walters interview I was pushing for, nor was it
for your fans, right?
Okay, if that is not the teaser clip, folks.
Come back for part 2. See what else I put in my belt.
We can also discuss, you have to forgive that 7th grade person, and you have to, it's called future self-hatred, where just because at that time you aren't in this future position where you wanted to be, you can't worry about that stuff anymore.
Let it go.
You just have to let it go.
I have let it go, but you just made it resurface. All right, folks, how about this? If you want Sam to bring up more of my old trauma and have her boyfriend diagnose me.
We should unpack all of Sam's trauma.
Hit the subscribe button, because I know there's a lot of new fans here who just came in for Sam. Hit the subscribe button and see what trauma my next guest makes me unpack. Maybe I'll talk about some bad experiences as an altar boy.
Oh, boy. I want to hear that. I'm subscribing.
You know what's funny? I was changing the story in my head to cover up whatever the real trauma was. Find out later. Good night, New York.
Love ya.
There you go. And get the hell out.